Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com, and I am going to give you the book review of Drive, that is by Daniel H. Pink. Now, I happened to find out about Daniel H. Pink when I watched his TED Talk. His TED Talk was titled The Puzzle of Motivation. If you have not seen that, you must see that. And also Google in RSA Animate, where you'll get to hear Drive, the surprising truth of what motivates us. So I happened to see both his talks, and I was pretty inspired to find out more about him. And well, then eventually I found out that he also had written a book that is NIEL, Daniel Pink. He wrote The Whole New Mind. He has also written To Sell is Human and Free Agent Nation. Now, I've read A Whole New Mind. I've just finished reading Drive. The next book, which I'm going to read, is To Sell is Human. So he's a successful author of 5 books, and he's doing pretty well for himself. Just to give background about him, he graduated from Bexley High School in Bexley, Ohio. He has a bachelor's degree from Northwestern University, where he was a Truman Scholar and a Phi Beta Kappa, means among the top rank holders. He received a law degree from Yale Law School and finally worked as an aide to the Secretary of Labor, Robert Ritchie. And from 1995 to 1997, he was the chief speechwriter for President Al Gore. So a very successful guy, written 5 books, and his career is taking places. So now, he came out with this book, Drive. Now, what is Drive all about? It is what kind of what is it that motivates people? He has just tried to address this issue, and he has come out with a theory where he says motivation 1 is more like eating, sleeping, sex, and surviving. Motivation 2 is the carrot and the stick approach. And motivation 3 is predominantly, it consists of 3 aspects. One is autonomy, that is, people want to take control over themselves and their work. Second one is mastery, they want to improve and become the best at their work. And third one is purpose. There is something more bigger than just achieving money or success. It is something greater than yourself. So these are the 3 areas that he focuses on in Motivation 3.0. Now, before we actually move down to, is it possible or is it not? Now, yes, everyone wants to be autonomous. Everyone wants to be their own boss. But the question is, if you're your own boss, do you actually achieve results? Now, let me tell you my perspective. Now, I have worked under quite a number of people. I changed 16 jobs in 2 years, literally. Then I kept working under owners of companies, and I would see how do they actually work and operate. What I've found out is the hardest thing to do for any employee, anybody, is to motivate people, is actually to push them to achieve results, because every owner of every company wants people to work harder, smarter, and achieve more productivity. But the question is, how do you do that? And I've seen these owners of the companies, they try everything from increasing salaries, giving them full medical insurance, providing education for their children, to even silly stuff like celebrating their birthdays, giving them surprise gifts, taking them out for lunch, having parties. So I've seen the good side, and the bad side here also can be threatening them to get fired, terminating them. So there has been, I've seen in real life people do crazy stuff. Some work, some don't work. But if you try to follow Daniel Pink's model, what he says is you need to leave people as they are and help them grow. So I'm not too sure that this might actually work. The reason being is people are different. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone wants to, like how Stephen Covey says, leave a legacy, especially when they have bills to pay, when they have day-to-day expenses. Now, Daniel Pink, his credentials are impressive. Now, the question is, what about people like you and me? I'm a college dropout. So now, what would I have done if I tried to struggle in the corporate world? Do you think anyone is going to give me autonomy? Are people going to change the current structure that there is? And so I personally didn't feel that Daniel Pink kind of had a strong case. And secondly, you got to understand that Daniel is a political writer. Now, Mr. Pink is very good with words. He has used stuff like humanistic psychology, then type A behavior, type I behavior, type X behavior, motivation, titanic battles. He's given all these fantastic words. You know, if you really want to improve your vocabulary, you got to listen and you got to read his stuff. Great stuff. But then the question is, what about research that backs your claim? So I didn't find that happening. He only gave examples of Google and Atlassian, a company based in Australia. So he only gave two examples, but then he gives very vague statements like sometimes and the majority of them, and this is what they found. So he doesn't have actually research. So bottom line, I felt that Daniel Pink came out with this book during the course of recession, where greed, where profits, and where corporate selfishness was at its peak. Bankruptcy was rampant, and people were looking out for hope. So he came out with this book that kind of sprinkles you with a little bit of hope to say that yes, people are autonomous. They want to achieve mastery and they want to leave a legacy. But I don't think he has made a very strong case here. Even though the book is kind of interesting, even though he tries to focus on human beings as complete people, I think when you look at it from a very realistic point of view, the owners, the managers, leaders are still finding it very hard to push and drive people. And when you have different kinds of people, different personalities, I don't think this would actually work. Rather, it might actually cause more of chaos. So I gave this book an overall 6 out of 10 because I felt that if you want to claim something, you need to have evidence to back it up. Otherwise, it sounds all romantic, it sounds all fluffy, but in the end, we don't know if it actually can happen or not. So this is my view on Daniel H. Pink's, that is, Drive, the new, what is the surprising truth about what motivates us. So let me know what you think, because I'm sure you would have some different opinions, and I'd love to hear them. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.